Hi friends, I'm Robin. Welcome to Robin Studio 21. Today I want to share with you my bead storage and organization. So how I organize them in containers and then where I put them. I'm going to walk you through all of it today. So I'm excited to share this video with you and show you how I store my beads, because for me it's working, and if it's working, then that's a great thing, right? Let me get started and show you how I organize my beads. I'm going to open up that lid so that glare is not so much there. So this is the first container. I have two containers that I call the beginning of my bead storage, and that's my findings. This one, and then also this storage container. Let's talk about the storage containers. So this storage container is purchased on Amazon, and I think it's less than $8. And I have bought several of them, as you'll see as I go throughout this video. I love containers. If I can store it in a container, I will. I have containers all over my house, organizing all the fun things. So this container measures approximately, I would say about 13 and a half. Sorry for the ring light glare. About 13 and a half that direction. And because it has this bump this way, it sticks out just a little bit on that end. And then it measures about 8 3/4. So that's the size of these containers. Oh, how deep are they? They are approximately, I would say about 1.5 deep. 1.5 deep. And there are 32 compartments to these containers. So this is just a fun way for me to organize all my beads. Let's get into it. Let me show you. So this is my bead findings. This is where I store all my jump rings. I store some pieces of chain. I have my lobster clasps here. I have keychains as well. So I don't know. Let me tip this up so you can see without dumping everything out. Excuse me. I have used a glue dot and put a lobster clasp right here, because these two are different sizes, and this one is a 5mm, and I just wrote that on there. I just took a glue dot and glued these on here so that without picking them up, I can just look at them and see the size that I want to grab. These two are the same, and then these all of these others are 5mm. I do like this one, which is probably a 6mm. So that's how I store these. I have lots of different jump rings, and I've had them for years. A lot of these I probably will never use because I have my favorites. I have a few of these really fun keychains in here too for projects. So that is my first container. The other one, again, another jewelry finding. And in here I keep and I've labeled everything. So I have spacers. I have these really tiny spinners that I've put in here. I have bails right here. These are bail, not that. I don't even know what that is. I think that was just in my bag. These are bails that you can glue onto the back of a charm if there's no hook or hole for the bead. So I've used these before. There's also clear ones. I don't know if you can see that. It's a clear bail. So these are all spacers or bead caps, all different sizes, and I have just had these over the years. Oh, I do have a few lobster clasps in here. These are purchased from Amazon, and I don't have that on here. I need to put that. I need to put the name on here that I have the colored lobster clasps. Okay, so how I like to organize my beads is I organize them in color. Everybody has their own way of doing it. I organize them in color and then also seasonal. And I'll show you that as we go along. And also theme. There is a theme. And I will show you that as we go. So I organize these in color. And usually, so far right now, I have 2 colors in each container. So I have my red and my pink in this first one. And you can see right here, if I pull these out and put them in my hand, all these beads are the same type of bead. They are different sizes, but they are generally, well, these are all pink. But let me see. Oh, like these would be some red and pink. This one looks a little bit purpley, but when I put it next to the pink, it looks more pink. Anyway, this is my red and my pink, and I keep these all together because they are the same style of bead. So this is my red and my pink container, or my red and my pink container. Oh, I even have some of these fun beads that I like to use. These are from AliExpress. So these I wasn't sure what color to put these in. You could put them in with your blue. If you have like a multicolor bead container, you could do that, but I just put them here with my red and my pink. Okay, my next container that I have is my yellow and my yellow and my orange. And I put them all in here, just like this. And again, I have yellows and oranges all together right here. I'm not sure. I think I might have got this from one of my mom's necklaces. And I just put this bead in here, and it will probably get used on a project down the road. So all different shapes and sizes are in here. I like to use these to make bead dangles and other projects. So I'm looking forward to trying out my hand at making some beaded bracelets. I got some supplies on Amazon to make beaded bracelets, so I'll give that a try because I have so many beads. I have collected these beads for years, so I didn't just go out and purchase them one day. It was just a little by little. So that's how my collection grew. I purchased some of these from Michael's, some of these from Hobby Lobby, AliExpress, and Amazon throughout the years. This is how, and I like to have my containers a similar size so they all fit well in my drawer, and I will show you my drawers later throughout this video. So let me tip this up a little bit. Of course, this is my blue and my green, and they're all mixed up together here. So if I tip this up right here, I'm not sure if you can see, but I have a red sticker right here. This red sticker tells me that I have more beads just like that in my overflow, my extra beads, because I couldn't fit them all in here. I had so many of these. I can't even remember where I purchased these beads, but I had so many of these green, and maybe it was Hobby Lobby in their big round containers. It could have been that. So I put a red dot on there, and that reminds me I have more beads in an overflow, so in an extra place. Now I have my purple. So I have my purple in here, and so I don't have as many purple, and so I created a purple and then gold and silver area right here. So I have my gold and my silver, and so again, I just labeled it purple and then gold and silver right here. So I was just playing the other day and wire wrapping some beads, and I don't have a project in mind right now of where to put these. I was just playing using some of my silver. Like I said, I usually use gold wire instead of silver, but I was just playing, and so I just decided to stick them right in here, because then that way I'll have them when I'm ready to do something purple. Just when I play, sometimes you watch videos and you can wire wrap. So purple and gold here. The next one I have is I have a black and a brown. Now you can see I don't have as many black and brown, but I have some, so they have their own box. So black and brown. The next one, sorry for that loud snap, I have my white. And these could probably be considered silver. Look at those, are even stuck together. That's kind of a cheapy bead, right? I don't know. Maybe it's a snowman. But these could be considered silver, so these could go either in the silver or the white, but I decided to put them with the white. So I put all of my white in here, and these I guess I could put them in with the gray. Oh, you can't see. Let me move this. This one, these right here, I guess I could put them with gray, but I just stuck them in there. So these are all my white, and again, labeled. So before seasonal, you might be asking yourself, do I keep all of my beads in color coordination? And that answer is no. Okay, let me bring all these up here so I can show you. Oh, I just lost a bunch of these pink seed beads. Okay, so let me just show you so these seed beads I bought in this container, and I keep them in this container. Same with this one, and oh, that's the one that opened. It just popped open, and so all these little seed beads, I'll have to put them in just a minute. So I do keep them, I don't take them out of the container and put them like in little baggies. You could if you wanted, but these I just keep in around. And then I have these smaller little beads, and so they're going to go floating all over my desk. Maybe a bigger container would be better. But this, I keep all of these together. They're approximately the same size, maybe give or take a couple millimeters. But I keep all of these in here, my colored ones. Now, gold and silver, I use more, so that's why I keep them separate. I do see a gold one in here, but that's okay. Finally got all those seed beads together out of the way. Okay, so my eye pins, because they don't fit in those containers, again, I put them in here. And I have talked to you before about my favorite eye pin, that this is the only one I buy. Not necessarily. I might use flat ones. These are my, and I label it, my gold flathead pins, and I have one that's silver, but it has its own box. But this is my very favorite with the little ball on there. That's what my very favorite head pin that I have been using with the ball. And I'm out of my gold, and so I've just ordered some new gold because I did a bunch of wire wrapping. That was kind of hard to open, but that's not a bad thing, having it hard to open, especially when you're doing beads. So this is another way I order some of my findings for my to make my my dangles. So again, here are some beads. Now these beads are too big, or not necessarily too big to fit in my bins, but they would take up so much room. And so I put all my red and pink in these containers right here, and my black and brown, and then I have a white. And then if you have anything that's just kind of different or unusual, I keep them in a separate container too. That's how I just do it for now. And again, here's just some more seed beads that I have. The other thing I don't really keep in is my alphabets. I keep them in here. I can see them better if they're in a bigger bin than if they're in the smaller compartments of the larger container that I have, and it's easier to pull one out. So I do have my alphabet beads in this. I just find you can find it easier. It's easier to pick out with your finger. And again, here's another alphabet. And these have different colors, but I'm not going to separate these. I would use these all together, of course. So some things I do not separate as far as color goes. Some things I don't. Most I do. So that just gives you kind of an overview of that. Now I'll show you how I organize my extra beads and cabochons, my charms in a seasonal, because usually my seasonal ones they just need their very own home and not color coordinated, of course. So this year I just started a kind of a 4th of July or red, white, and blue. And I probably will just keep these all together and not put them in like red or blue. This is just how I want to do these for now. So you can just choose your own way that works for you. This is what I've done for my new bin of my red, white, and blue. And again, I kept the same container because it just fits nicely in my drawer. This is my Halloween container, and my Halloween container, you can see, is almost full. I just added these cute ghosties just recently. That's my recent addition, and these all came together. And you might think, well, why is that in white, and orange? But these came together, so I could use these all together as a bracelet. And for now, I just want to keep these together. That's just how I did that. So I'm about ready for a new container for my Halloween. Currently I have 2 Christmas containers. So I have this one right here, which has charms and beads and jingle bells in here. I have this cute snowman bead. I think I've got these from Hobby Lobby a few years ago, and that will just all stay together. I won't take that apart, of course. I love these tree beads. I'm going to have to use that on the bottom of a dangle one of these times. So I have lots of charms and different things in here. And then I have a second Christmas one. And, you know, this is another thing. It's like, where do I put this cute string of lights? But this is where I decided to put it, in here, in this container, so that if I want to use a piece of that, I'll know where to find that piece. So, again, I have a lot of these cabochons right here, meaning they don't have a hole. It's not a bead, but I could put one of those bails on the back. Or I could possibly even drill a hole through that. It's possible. I've never done that. But anyway, so this is my Christmas section, and this is full. So I'm probably going to have to start a new Christmas bin, right? So that is seasonal. And now I have a few that are like a theme. So this is my flower and travel bin, and that's just how I decided to do that. So there's some beads in here. There's just some different dangles in here. Some things this is just a paper clip right here I've had for years, but you know, it goes in the flower. It goes in the flower. And then I have travel right here with cameras and these cute little globes that I've had. So also my leaves. So I just call this my flower and travel. I have one that's called kitchen and food. So this way I have organized, I have some kitchen items, a whisk, a measuring spoon. Oh, I just found a globe. I should put that in the other container. So, so kitchen items that I've just had for a long time. I've just decided to put them in their own little category. I have these fun little cups right here. I'm going to have to see if I can make this into a bead or something. And just cabochons that I have had for a lot. And again, let me point out that if you can see the red dot right here, the red sticker, that means I have more of this lollipop right here, which I'm sure I never will need more of the lollipops, but I have them in an extra container, meaning I have more of those. So I have some popcorn in here, anything that is food related. I have these candies right here, food related. So I even have this cute little bag of chocolate chip cookies. Cute. So I just put these all together. Some of them, like I said, some are beads, some are charms, some are just food related. The next category I have baby bows, hearts, and animals. So I have some baby things here, some hearts. I have some heart charms right here that I have had. These are bows. I have these bows. Oh, these cute little baby bottles for if I do a baby mini album or make a baby dangle. That would be cute. And then I have a section for animals. Now, if I end up getting more hearts or more baby stuff, then certainly I would get another box and maybe just put the animals in it with something else if needed. So that's how I organize that for now. And the last one I have some, and this one, this is kind of like a miscellaneous one. Where do you put some of those things you're not sure where to put? But I have craft charms, tassel caps, flat back bling, stars. I have a section called summer. Instead of doing a fall, winter, I only have a few summer, and I have some of these angel wings in here. So this is kind of like a miscellaneous. I have these little tiny bows, but I did decide to add them in here. I guess I could put them in the other one, but this is what I mean by summer. I have some of this summer things that I might use again, but for now, it's just in its section called summer. And I have these angel wings because at one time, I followed a tutorial on YouTube to make these cute angels using beads. And so I bought these little wings that could make those angels, right? Isn't that cute? I love that. So I have those, and then I put my sample to remind me what I made with these angel wings. I also have dragonfly wings in here. And so this is a dragonfly that I had made one time, just following a tutorial on YouTube. So fun. So I have my little sample. So just some of these little flat back things, tassel caps, which I'm not sure if I'll ever use. You know, over the years, I can adjust this. I have some craft pins right here. And I have some stars right here that I've just put in here. So that is what is in my bins, and that's how I organize my, there. So that is how I organized my items. Now I'm going to just take you on a tour using my phone and show you where I put these items. You're looking at a true crafter's mess. So this is my countertop. I'll have to give you a tour of the craft room one of these days because it's pretty cool. I did design the craft room myself, and then my husband, we hired a builder, and in these drawers down here are where I keep my beads, and that's why I like to use those type of containers. Also, I think if I used them in a cabinet, I could label the side right here of that. Again, true crafter's mess that I have going on right here. So in these drawers over here, let me just open. And when I designed these drawers, I designed them a few different heights. So a couple narrow at the top and then deeper as you go down. So in here, and you can see I have a few other beads right here that I have. I have some wire wrap beads in here in these little teeny containers. Again, I told you I was a container addict. It's true. Oh, look, there's some of my dragonflies and my angels. Oh, cute. Okay, so in this top drawer is where I put my findings like that. So let me grab those and I'll put them in there. Okay, so this is the first drawer, how I just put most of my findings in here. Let me show you the next drawer. Oh, another thing, I labeled my drawers as well with findings, beads and charms, and then this one says pens, seasonal, beads and charms. Anyway, that just helps me to have things labeled. Okay, so this drawer, it does look kind of messy here, but again, containers, right? Got containers, so I have some things right here. So I'm going to put my beads in here, and then I'll just show you that. Okay, here is the next drawer. So this one I can do 2 layers of containers. So I do my red and my orange, and I do it, I don't know, kind of like the rainbow to me. I don't know if that's real or not, but my blue, green, and then there's my purple and my gold and silver. So the next drawer, as we go down, so you can see this is where I keep my great big beads. And then here I can put 3 layers of containers in here. So let me put those in here. This drawer, I have my seasonal, so I have my Christmas and Halloween under here all together. Then I put my black and my white and my 4th of July. I know, this one's kind of messy, right? This is kind of another container. Oh, I forgot to show you. So I have this empty hole. So this is where I keep my bead container. I have that one, and then I have this blue one that's up here, and I just roll them up and put them in here. Okay, so down here, let me put some things into it so you can see it all packed up. Okay, all packed up. This drawer, I keep my theme beads and charms in here. So my theme, so my kitchen, travel, all of that right here. I keep my seed beads in here. And then these are the cups that I use sometimes if I need to put beads in a cup to help me organize things. So, and I just have some beaded pens, so that's kind of, and some other pens. So that's what's in this drawer. So that is all of my beads. So when I'm working on a project, I just find a home for it in whatever drawer I can find to put it in. I can't put it in this one. But I just find a home for it. So then that way, when I go back to work on it again, that way it keeps me organized, it clears off my desk so I can start another project, because why not? We work on multiple projects at the same time, right? So that is how I organize my beads. It was kind of a long video, I know, but I wanted to kind of give you the process and then just give you kind of a sneak peek to my craft room, that this is where I create and enjoy and hang out. I hope you all have a crafty day. Let me know, how do you organize your beads? And I hope this is helpful. I will put some links down below to some of the containers that I use, because they have really helped me in my organization. So being organized is, for me, is the key to being creative. I hope you all have a crafty day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.